Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, as always, just want to say a big thank you to all the supporters of the channel. Anybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented on previous videos, it's greatly appreciated as always. Any newcomers to the channel, please go back and watch a few of our older videos, and please do press that sub button. And if you're watching and haven't subbed yet, please do again press that sub button. It helps us out immensely here. So, but yeah, this is going to be the final build video on the Pan Am shuttle bus. We're pretty much ready just to slam it all together now. There's been so much test fitting and what have you before now that I'm pretty confident that it's gonna glue together, and we can just add the last little details now. So yeah, I mean, we just buttoned up the interior. I mean, we were pretty much there in the last video. We just added a few extra details. I got the first aid box out of the AMC Chevy Rescue van kit. We just glued the two girls in the back seat. Now, it pained me to put glue over that back seat, but I don't want it all falling apart, and I don't want figures flying about, rattling about the interior, which you can't fix. And this is never going to get rebuilt again, not by me. And if somebody else wants to rebuild it in the future, it won't be my problem to deal with that glue on the seats. But yeah, we just added a few more details. We've added something to his clipboard, made it kind of look like a Pan Am top sheet, his schedule or something. But yeah, it just saves him looking at a blank piece of paper like he was before. Just added a simple CB radio. We did add some coils under there, for the actual radio cord, but it is hard to pick up in there. But yeah, I mean, we hadn't really done much else to that, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's all the little bits and pieces have taken time. We just painted the master cylinder and what have you in a gold colour, just so they stand out a little bit more from underneath once they're glued in. We had to set the exhaust down a little bit. It was sitting a little bit too low to the ground, so we just cut a little bit off the supporting tab and lowered that. But yeah, we got the wheels on. Just found some AMT wheels. I was really struggling, to be quite honest. I didn't think anything looked right, but we found some AMT wheels, and then I wasn't even convinced with matching them to the body colour, but I painted some in white and it made it look like a police van. And because it had I was looking at it for so long without wheels in it, I kind of fancied just black or really dark blue steel wheels. So I painted some up like that as well, and they didn't look right. And tried them without the hubcaps; they didn't look right. So yeah, this is look we're going with now. I've just used the commercial hubcaps from the Lindbergh little red wagon kit. The story will be with that is that, they just put some older wheels on it. They didn't want the fancy caps on it, so they just had some of these in the storage unit, and yeah, pop them in on there. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all pretty much finished now. We added some Pan Am decals to the back of his uniform, this chap, and just put one above his top pocket as well. So yeah, that's pretty much done now. I don't think we've really done anything else to that, to be honest. We just a bit of paint detail here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much ready to go now. I've just got bits and pieces. That's the holder for the beacon for the roof light, which I just cobbled together and then painted chrome. We have a lens to put over there, and we have got some luggage here. After Lee kindly confirmed, after I was questioning myself whether I sold my old AMT luggage as a lot some years ago. Well, he did. I sold them to Lee, and so that saved me looking anymore. But I just made bits and pieces. Like I say, I started them off just by gluing a couple of strips of sheet acrylic together, and then I just started sanding them and shaping them, and I hadn't paid any of the backs yet. There is a good reason for that, but yeah, so we did about 7 cases in total, really. They can sit on the roof rack eventually, and speaking of the roof rack, just got that out of sight here, but we've got all that finished up. I painted it in a really dark blue. I didn't fancy black, to be quite honest with you. So I just wanted something which is kind of similar to the body colours, but not, it doesn't stand out too much. So yeah, we just did that in a really dark blue, and this was the same colour I painted some other wheels and tried them on, and yeah, they didn't look right either. But yeah, that's pretty much there, finished. The astute of you will notice in once we pop all this together, we've got no ladder to get up to the roof rack. I could have easily just made a ladder and glued it under here and add some extensions as if you pull it out and you put it to the side of the vehicle. But yeah, I really didn't want to glue a ladder. The only place a ladder would go really is over this area here. It'd look too weird in the middle, and I had too much detail going on already in this area, so and I didn't want a roof ladder going down, and I didn't really want to overcome the problem by fixing something up underneath there. And we aren't even going to glue the luggage on today, and the reason being is I want to finish this built model. But we've gone to a lot of trouble with the figures and what have you, and I was thinking the other day, I'm just not going to fit in. I've got no display cases which will fit in. I mean, it's too tall for one of these. Even this Plymouth is sitting about 3mm from the top. So then I was thinking, well, I'll probably buy a 1/18 display case for it, and we'll just stick it in there. But then it'd look too lost in the middle of a 1/18 case. From maybe when I was halfway through this build, I've kind of decided I'm going to do something a little bit extra with this one. I'm going to actually build a little diorama, buy a little 1/18, a 1/18 case, and we're going to kind of follow on the story. And we're just going to build a diorama and have a few bits and pieces scattered about. And the reason I don't want to glue all my luggage to the roof rack yet is I don't know how that diorama's going to pan out and what we're going to do to it. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably have it like somebody's loading it up while these guys are waiting. So you're just going to see it with only the roof rack, and the next shot I'll stick some of them on before we muck about with it, but yeah, I mean, so we are going to do another video. It's not going to be straight away. Obviously got to wait for a display case to come in, but it's not going to be the last you're going to see of this. And I got kind of inspired by Tim at Throttle Power's diorama. We're not doing a rusty backyard sort of diorama, but we're going to maybe have a kid running about with a model airplane and what have you while it's Mum and Dad are waiting to get on the bus, and we'll probably make a little model airplane playing out of like a Tri-5 Chevy emblem, hood emblem or something like that. So we are going to sort of fit into the scene more. But yeah, I mean, we won't go into the body much. Obviously, we've applied the decals now. It's yeah, I was really pleased with this colour once I cleared it. It really brought it to life, and I think it was Peugeot Pageant Blue or something. And when you go into Halfords and look at the colour range, it's just to see a boring old colours, and this one really stuck out to the point it almost looks a bit leery on the top, but this is the colour I went back to get. So yeah, really glad with that. I mean, we'll look at the body in more detail in the next one. You know, it's pointless banging on too much, but I've glued all the... I wanted to paint the back of the grille and what have you in black. I didn't want that being like a nasty old chrome behind there, so we painted that black and fitted all the bumpers. It just slots over the interior tub. There's not a great deal we have to really do with that. So, but yeah, we got some dome lights in there. I did a couple of dome lights. All they are is two really rounded sort of headlamps found in the part box, and I just put a little yellow smaller light in from, I'm assuming it was a truck accessory kit or something. I just had a load of them on the spruce. Yeah, so you can kind of see them through there and what have you. I mean, light's a bit dark in here, but yeah, so everything's glued in. We've painted the whole of the body black because you'll see quite a bit of the lower section, and it just tidies it all up. Just got all the glue Mod Podged in. I mean, the way I do it is I just tap the corners in with 5-second fix to hold it. You just got to be careful with that 5-second fix that you're not putting in an area that's going to foul your interior tub. But yeah, we just put a couple of little dots here and there around it just to hold it, and then I've just pinned the rest of it in using Mod Podge. We didn't even glue the top in. You know, I put couple of tiny little spots of that 5-second fix in just in the top corners, but that's not going anywhere now. You know, that's well in there. So yeah, I got the rear bumper on. Rear lights. You know, if you remember, one of them was missing a section. I thought I'd broken it myself or something, but going back through the videos and then going back through all the pictures I had on file for this van, it was never there in the first place. And they're so delicate, these. You know, I even broke that one in half in the end just by holding it slightly. You know, they're so thin in the middle, so we ended up repairing that one. And then we ended up using a bit of sheet styrene, which didn't really fill the hole, it just bridged it. So then I built it up with a 5-second fix and sanded that down, because parts for this are completely, you know, you can't get hold of them. You know, if I was waiting to find another part to fit this, I would have been waiting 15-20 years, and it probably would have been glued to another builder, which means it wouldn't even be any good, or I'd be just taking one off another kit, stopping that one being built. So we persevered, got it all sanded down to a fashion, and just re-chromed them and stuck them in there with some Mod Podge. I didn't want to put any pressure or anything on them, but yeah, I mean, that's all done now. So I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it all together, and then we'll have a final look at it on the table and what have you, and that'll be this one done. Right, I'll see you in a second. Right, guys, well, I think I'm going to call this one finished now. I mean, we hadn't done bad, really, to say we only started this project 11 days ago. I probably would have taken my time a little bit more on it, and spread it out, and not being at the bench so much over the last couple of days. But I have, like I said in the last video, I've got such a busy week, and the chances of me getting back to the bench before the bank holiday it ain't going to happen at all, to be quite honest. Yeah, I might do a filler video or something, but yeah, we're not going to be building anything for the next few days at least anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think it's turned out really nice, to be quite honest with you. I'm, like I said in last clip, you know, I'm so pleased with that colour choice. I think it really helps date the model with the colour combination we got with the ivory white, and it's a good catalyst between, you know, the decals are slightly different shades. They look a bit more off than on the camera than they do in real life, but Yeah, I mean, it turned out really, really nice as this one. It's been a project I've had in my mind for a number of years, and like I say, I've been occasionally buying airliner decals for it, and we just got the luggage sat on the top at the moment. Like I said, I will be doing a bit of a diorama, and I've already started making the push along ladders and what have you for the roof rack. But had I done all that and then tried to work on a diorama, we would have just had a massive gap between getting this almost finished and trying to do all that as well. So I thought we'd just get the model finished, and then in the next couple of weeks we can get that diorama sorted. I mean, I'd want to do it sooner rather than later, just so I don't lose interest in it. And like I say, I do need somewhere to display it well, but like I say, we just laid out the luggage. We haven't glued anything down on it at all. In fact, we'll probably take the model off the stand and have a better look at it here and there, and we'll just put all them in there, they're for safekeeping until needs be. But yeah, I mean, we used a combination of I think the black square decals for the 1/64th Matchbox Greyhound bus, and then these decals were from the Minicraft kit. And I really wanted to add a little bit of colour in here. This is why I didn't want the ladder going down into that area, or over the back door or anything. It was just going to knock off too much detail, and I did want a few unit numbers on there. I think Mike suggested it as well, and that's, even though looking at what pictures there are available of these kind of things, I don't think they really add unit numbers. But I think just adding little bits of colour, it just sets the whole model off. If we gave the marker lights a couple of coats of the Tamiya orange clear, same on the front, and I'd say that grill's a 1972 tool. I just think it's probably one of the nicest detailed grills I've built on a model. It's just with that breakthrough in the middle. Yeah, I think I didn't want to overdo it with decals. I did want a roundel on the side. I nearly put it in the middle, but because Mike sent me a picture of a VW bus, 60s VW bus, and it had a roundel in the middle, but I didn't want to deal with it in between. It'd kind of have to sit skew-if over one of these gaps, and I think my OCD would have kicked in too much on it. So, but yeah, I mean, number plates we did make up ourselves. If anybody can get the reference on that, you win absolutely nothing, but well done to you. I think a link to Pan Am there was a nice little touch on that one. I'm sure somebody will put it in comments. But yeah, I mean, I made them up I bought this decal sheet years ago from Warbird Decals, and they give you a big run of 1963, I think it is, to 2000 and something license plates, and give you all these numerous numbers and letters and what have you, and they have got quite a raised ridge to them. They weren't as difficult as I thought to use them. It probably took me half an hour to make 2 license plates, but they're all individually cut, because when I did the A's, I cut them out together, and then I was thinking, once I put it in the water, are they gonna all be a part of one line? But no, they're all individual. So I don't know if they're available, but I'd recommend them. They're a really good decal sheet, and they work well for this. And I did actually buy that sheet for other projects, hence why it's got the California plates. But I think they look really well. But yeah, I mean, got the roof rack all glued into place now. Yeah, it turned out really nice. I know it is a little bit holiday vanish, but you know, I think just adding that same colour into from the interior onto the top, just, you know, it ties everything in a little bit more. And didn't want to overdo it. I didn't want it looking police, so we just put the single beacon in the middle and the CB radio antenna on there. These 4 lights, you know, like I say, I've probably sold a big lot of truck parts in the last couple of months, and not thinking I'd ever use them. I'm not really into building big rigs or anything, but the only kit I could find which had anything like this in my whole collection. I mean, I'm sure there is some somewhere, but you know, for how much effort I wanted to put in, these are from an AMT 43rd scale cab over, and I think that they're just the right size for this. I mean, it was a parts kit anyway, that thing, and it's now even more of a parts kit. So yeah, I didn't mind. I don't like thieving parts out of other kits. You know, I like to keep everything as complete as possible until I either build it or sell it. So, but yeah, I mean, I think we re-chromed the rear bumper. I only gave it a really light coat. I didn't want it because I wanted it to match the front bumper, which is a little more toned down. So I didn't give it a heavy coat. I just gave it a couple of mist coats until I got the finish I wanted, and it matches the front absolutely perfectly now. So, but yeah, we got air smoking in back seat. You can still see that through the windows and what have you, and yeah, you can still see quite a bit of detail in there. I mean, light isn't perfect in here, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I've got two overhead lamps and a big shop light in the room, and it's still not bright enough. So, wheels, like I say, I used the hubs out of the Lindbergh kit. You know, and I think we did pin it. We did put some extensions on the end of them, on the end of the chassis rails, just so it didn't tuck in too much. But you know, that's good enough for me underneath there. You know, it's not over detailed. I haven't weathered it or done anything like that. I mean, I did think of maybe rubbing some wear marks down on the side of the roof rails, but because nothing else is weathered on it, you know, it wasn't worth the hassle, to be quite fair. But I mean, I think I've achieved what I wanted to on this one, to be quite fair. I really wanted to make it look like it was built in the 70s. You know, I didn't want any aftermarket parts of too much description on there, and you know, I just wanted to really sort of capture a screenshot in time, and I think this model really does that with the colours. And you know, I always think the more colours you add into it, the more it just brings it to life, and that's why I did want to. We got no red pretty much anywhere else on the vehicle except from the engine, and you know, just that little flash of red there with the American flag really sets it off. So yeah, I mean, I really couldn't be happy with that, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I think what I'll do, we'll just put it in that light box, which is too small for 1/25 cars, but it just gives see if it shows you up any better. We're looking a bit yellow in this room at the moment, I'm afraid. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys like it as well, and you know, if you just bear with us 5 more minutes, then we'll get it in the box, and then I can get to the partners and upload this video. So yeah, we will see you in a second. See you in a bit. Right then, guys. Well, we'll just watch this thing going round as I close off the video. Like I say, it just gives it's just a bit better light in here, and you know, we can see some of the details a bit more in this little box here. So yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with the model. I don't think I've rushed it, to be quite fair. I think I've just worked harder on it, put in a few extra hours than I usually would each day. And you know, if I didn't have a day on it, we'd probably double time up, just because I like I say, I really wanted this done by today, to be quite fair, and then I can start concentrating on the other things I've got planned for the week. So, but yeah, I mean, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. I really do appreciate everybody's support. You know, whether you're within the community or you know you're just building at home, and or whatever you do with the hobby, you know, and I just really appreciate everybody supporting the channel. You know, I think we're coming into the 4th month now. You know, we've only been doing it a few months, and yeah, I've still not quite found my feet with it all, but we're getting there, and I think we're building some nice models for you. Yeah, they are a little bit different, I'm afraid, and yeah, they're not mainstream kind of stuff which you can go out on and just buy in the shops. But these kits are out there if you're willing to restore a kit and you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a mint in box one and then be too scared to build it. But yeah, I mean, I think you know, what we'll do is we'll probably just do one episode on the diorama. I'll just work on it in the background. I might start another restoration, or I might even just start a new kit just to get something on the bench. But you know, like I say, I want to again thanks to everybody. I'll probably won't have a video on it until at least Friday, to be quite honest with you. I'll record something. I hadn't done in all fairness, I hadn't really done a proper stash ads video since January, and I've kind of January or early February or something like that. I know we had that sort of auction haul video, but you know, a great deal of them ended up going. I just kept the really old stuff which really interested me, but I have been buying bits and pieces here and there, and you know, we've got some interesting stuff. So I might just do one of them videos, just so I'm not rushing to get back and building anything. But yeah, I mean, whatever you're doing tonight or for the rest of the week, please do enjoy yourself. You know, we're experiencing some nicer weather in the UK here, it seems. Hopefully that'll stay the same, and you know, we can all enjoy a week at work or at home, whatever we're doing, you know. But yeah, I mean, please, if you've not subscribed before, please press that sub button. You know, if you want to see more stuff like this, you know, then you certainly will get it on this channel. You know, we've got a lot of rare old stuff, and it's nice to get these things back into a condition where people can actually look at them. I don't think I'd call any of my stuff show worthy or anything like that, but you know, it's not. They're not bad. They're not bad. So anyway, with that, I would like to wish you a pleasant evening, and we will see you in the next video. See you, bye.